Good morning, everyone. All right. So welcome to 2020. Happy New Year from M Connect, and we just wanted to start off this year with one of our favorite topics, which is hyper-local marketing strategies. Again, this is our first webinar for 2020, monthly webinar. So we're gonna actually talk about again, the emphasis would be on small businesses and restaurants, and how we can actually help. Again, using some examples that we have actually worked with local with our clients. Feel free to ask any questions here. I hope you guys can actually see my screen as well as hear me. So the intent here is to, again, as I said, for these webinars are to showcase what we have done with regards to our clients and how we can help others when it comes to any marketing or any specific strategies with regards to growth and those kind of things. So for this, so we will be having 12 webinars, obviously. And if you have any specific requests that you would like us to give speech on or a webinar on, feel free to reach us out. Right. A brief about ourselves, like we were founded in 2015, emphasis mostly on collecting data from different sources and using this data. We are primarily a restaurant marketing platform. So we actually have like an mConnect platform. By the way, we are also looking for some beta customers who can be part of this journey of developing this platform. So again, the emphasis is like, as I said, like collecting data from different sources. It would be demographic data, it would be transactional data, it would be other kind of financial data, and using this data to kind of build a model in terms of from predictive modeling and kind of like going after customer models that would help our clients or any other small business clients to reach out to their target segment within their target demographics and geographic region. So again, today we're going to talk about that. Having said that, today's focus is on hyperlocal marketing. What is hyperlocal marketing? Why should one basically be looking at this one? And what are the different strategies in terms of like implementing hyperlocal? So everyone keeps on talking about in these days local, solo-mo, which is like social, local, and mobile. So in here, we will be focusing on the local part of things. If you take any business, right? Like again, let's take a restaurant business, right? If you look at that, most of the customers, they are within the 3 to 5 mile radius, right? In the sense that they either work, they live, or most of them are either maybe commuting within that, and they want to basically go to a particular restaurant. It's not that like someone is going out of their way, unless and until it's an occasion or something like that, they would like to go and celebrate like their Valentine's Day or something like that to a fancy restaurant. Most of the people actually go to a local restaurant, and that's what it is Hyperlocal is basically targeting those customers within your geographic location using different strategies. That's in a nutshell what hyperlocal is all about. So here, if you look at it, there are two different facets to this one. So identifying what is your geolocation, in the sense that, like, okay, if, for example, we are based here in Dallas, so within Dallas we have multiple regions like Irving, Coppell, Fort Worth, and all those things. So if you take a restaurant with, say, like maybe downtown Dallas, so someone here in Fort Worth would not be actually going to downtown Dallas unless and until their workspace in there. So you need to figure out, like, who lives or works within that area and how to actually reach out to these people. So that's basically the crux of these the webinar, or the next few slides on me here, right? So when it comes to the small business, right? Like, the basic thing is, like, which comes to mind is Google. By far, again, this has been proven that people who are actually looking for any business, or if you actually openly Google My Business, you can actually see the insights, which would actually say how many people are actually directly going to the website or to the business, vis-a-vis how many people are actually coming to the site because they are searching for something local, like best pizza place in town, or pizza coupons nearby, and all those kind of things, right? So the primary thing is that you want to capture this audience who are actually looking for you as a business, or you as a service category, or they might be looking for different kinds of things. Like, for example, if Super Bowl is coming on Feb 6th, so you want to actually have like a catering special. So the flavor of the month, when I say flavor of the month, that is basically your search term at this time could be it could be party ideas for Super Bowl, or Super Bowl catering deals, or Super Bowl something like pizza deals or something like that, right? So you want to make sure that whatever is the flavor of the month in terms of people who are searching for, you need to actually have those key terms. Again, we're going to talk about all those strategies in a while, but the intent is, because it is flexible, in the sense that people are looking for different things at different times of the year. It could be mornings could be different, or evenings could be different. Again, it's not that like you're going to change your strategies, but you need to make sure that whatever your strategies are, it can capture max of these search terms, of these different things people are looking for. Obviously, again, it's the 80-20 rule, right? Like 20% of the of your customers, they know you directly, and 80% of the customers are searching for you. So it is absolutely critical that you are trying to get to these 80% of the population who are searching for something, or who are looking for something, and then channeling them to kind of increase your 20%, who will become like, as in, that's how you basically grow your business, in the sense that if you have 20 customers today and you want to grow to 140 customers, so that means out of these 80 people who are searching for you, make sure that 40 of them will become your regular customers, so that they are not searching for, they will directly go to like mypizza.com directly, rather than again searching for Google, because at that point of time, there is a probability of Google showcasing something, or your competitors, instead of showing mypizza.com, they can show mepizza.com there, when you would lose that customer, right? Again, when it comes to hyperlocal, right, it doesn't mean that it's only for small businesses. It's actually across the board, and we have seen time and again where big chains, here the classic case is McDonald's. When they've actually introduced McDonald's in India, I clearly remember where they said that we're going to introduce where we have actually done, in the sense that like we have perfected the art of making Big Macs and all those kind of things, and we're going to introduce them without considering the local taste, local flavors, and all those kind of things. And it was a disaster there, because the cultural aspects of things, the eating habits of things, and all those things in India are completely different from other markets. And then they actually had to revamp their strategy to kind of say, hey, I need to basically introduce more vegetarian options. For example, in Sweden, I clearly remember in McDonald's long time back, they actually have pure vegan burgers, whereas because in Sweden people are more health conscious, they just don't want to eat red meat and all those kind of things, and they had to manage their strategy by providing like vegan burgers and all those kind of things. So it's not just like hyperlocalism or like for the strategies that people or any company or anyone is not just for mom and pop stores. It is basically beyond that one. Another example, classic example here is Adidas, right? If you look at Adidas, they actually have come up with different strategies to kind of, again, here the intent is when we talk about the strategies, right? It is like me as a Brooklyn resident or something, I will be able to relate to Adidas, even though it's a German brand, if they actually show something local wherein saying that, hey, like here is the mural from the Brooklyn Colosseum. Again, this is what they've actually done, right? Again, with London also, with the Oyster card, they've actually partnered with them, and then they kind of came up with some designs and all those kind of things. Because end of the day, a person who's seeing an Oyster card in London would relate that, because it is, they would be seeing this Oyster card day in and day out, wherein a person in New York, they would understand more about Brooklyn and all those kind of things, right? So again, the intent here is basically looking at why people, why again, like the hyperlocal, or like why you need to basically connect. When I say why you need to connect with local customers, because these are the ones who are actually looking for your set of services, your set of products. And it is absolutely imperative that when someone is searching for your products, obviously you need to make sure that you come up at the top of the listings. That means if for example, again, taking a breakfast as an example, someone who wakes up at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the morning and they want to search for breakfast places which are open at 7 a.m. in the morning, you want to make sure either you're running some ads at 7 a.m. in the morning because you open at 7 a.m. in the morning. And we do have customer or clients who actually open at 7 a.m. At the same time, we do actually have pizza places which open at 4 p.m. and close at 3 a.m. That means if someone is searching for at 2 a.m., they're hungry, or again, just remember, these could be people, students, these could be someone working late night and all those kind of things, or maybe during weekends. So you want to make sure that you actually have different strategies, like in terms of running some ads at 2 a.m. in the night for that pizza place, whereas you want to run some Waze ads or something at 7 a.m. in the morning on Google, because someone is driving and they want to see what is the nearest nearest coffee place which is open at 7 a.m., right? These are some of the statistics, right, in terms of near me, in terms of what happens if someone is searching for a near me, and then they'll basically visit the store and all those kind of things. And it is plain and simple that as a business, you need to make sure that you actually have the right strategy, again, in terms of making sure that you are visible first, and then when they actually click on any of these pages, then they are coming to your business, and then you're capturing some kind of customer data for you, so that you can follow up with them later, or have some kind of an offer so that they can actually save this offer, or walk into the store, or call your store, or place an order. Again, obviously, these are the strategies which we're going to talk about in the next few slides. Again, another facet in terms of how the near me searches have increased. And the thing is, in terms of the browsing habits itself, right? Like whenever, again, if you look at Google, right? Google obviously is in the business of making money, and they know that if people are searching for like pizza coupons, and I'm in Dallas, they know that I am looking for pizza either to place an order now or trying to find out something later. So they're going to actually show me something which is in Dallas rather than showing me something like in Fort Worth or some other place, because they want to show very relevant ads, relevant content for me, or else I'm not going to go to Google. I might switch to Bing or some other page or some other search engine, from a Google perspective, right? So obviously they want to make sure that they capture me as an audience. If I'm searching, I want to go to Google as such, right? Um, because of this fact, Google also, whenever anyone searches this, they also show the near me, in terms of, if you look at this one, right? Like they actually are showing what are the restaurants which are in the neighborhood and all those kind of things, because they know for a fact that people are, when they're searching for something, they are looking for ways to act on it, in the sense that they are actually looking for, people are, when I say people, it means customers, prospective customers are looking for something, information, for some information which they can act on, right? So that's, we've kind of like established the baseline as to what is hyperlocal marketing, or why someone actually, as a business, whether you are a multi-location or a mom and pop store, why you need hyperlocal marketing, right? In the next few slides, we're going to actually talk about the strategies in terms of what kind of strategies you need to actually adopt in order for us, for you to kind of focus on getting the customers into the door, right? Before that, I just want to take like a quick minute in terms of our engagement model. This is our customer engagement model, what we call as an A to A, where we are talking about a customer journey, which we have divided into 5 phases. We call these as the awareness phase, engagement, acquisition, loyalty, and advocacy. What it means is every customer, it's not a linear progression, but every customer has to pass through these 5 stages. When I say has to, it doesn't mean that every customer who becomes, or prospective customer who becomes a customer of yours, he'll become a loyal or an advocate of your brand. But as a business, it is your objective to make sure that if a customer, if like a prospective customer becomes an actual customer in the acquisition phase, he or she in turn should become a loyal customer, so that whenever that customer is thinking of pizza or coffee or something else, they're thinking about your brand. And not only that, but they also are an advocate of your brand. So whenever anyone talks about pizza within their group, they're going to refer your brand, so that in turn, that kind of leads to more awareness, right? So that's our A to A model. And whatever strategies we implement, even in this case also, you can implement the same kind of like hyperlocal, like for example, in case of loyalty, how can you create a hyperlocal loyalty mechanism? We're going to talk about that one. For example, you can work with local nonprofits or local schools to kind of engage with them and create loyalty within that particular student or teacher community or parent community, because you are giving back something to the school, which kind of engenders loyalty towards your brand as well. And again, as I said, like every strategy that we talk about or we implement has an angle of not just this one, like in the sense it creates an awareness, but we also try to implement those strategies that would have an impact on these stages as well. Having said that, we're gonna again, at a very high level, again, these are the strategies that you as a business have to start looking at from a strategy, as in like in the sense that, okay, as we said, right, like right in the beginning, there are 2 facets. One is people are searching for your category of business. Again, as I said, if it's a pizza, let's assume you're a pizza restaurant. They're looking for pizza coupons or pizza best pizza in town, best wood-fired pizza, or best oven-grilled pizza, or it could be thin crust pizza or gluten-free pizza, whatever be the case. One is looking for that one, and the second is once they look for that one, how will you make sure that you are in front of your customer's eyes, and then what will you do once they are there, in the sense that, like, how do you make sure that, like, if they click on a link or if they're landing on a page, how can you make sure that you will get, as a business, get customer data? Again, end of the day, if me as Seshu, I'm looking for maybe Mediterranean pizzas or chai tea lattes, right? So you need to make sure that when I come to your page, you either get some kind of data from me, in the sense that, hey, I know you're looking for chai tea latte. By the way, we have a deal right now, which is buy one, get one free, or just taste this, get this coupon for a sample of chai tea latte, or whatever be the case, right? So you have to have that plan in mind. It's like, basically, again, if you look at this one, right, you're creating the awareness, and you're trying to create the engagement aspect of things by asking for the customer to give some kind of customer data, which in turn would lead to that particular prospective customer to become an actual customer of yours. Wherein, again, giving the example of chai tea latte, you want to say, hey, give me your email ID, I'm going to send you 1+1 offer, or a free chai tea latte, or some recipes how to make the best chai tea latte, kind of thing, right? So again, these are some of the strategies. First of all, Google My Business Listing. In our experience, what we have seen is, by far, Google is the #1 channel in terms of people looking for information, right? And making sure your GMB page, which is free to obtain, and you as a business should actually control that. And there are a lot of instances nowadays, because of, again, I'm talking with regards to restaurant space, where many different companies actually vie for that one, and they want to take over this GMB listing and whatnot. Because if you as a business have control of your GMB listing, I would say that, like, around 70 to 80% of the traffic actually comes from GMB traffic itself, right? So we have had many instances where unscrupulous companies, they actually call small mom and pop stores saying that, hey, I'm calling from Google, you need to give me Google access to Google My Business Listing, and it is a slippery slope since till then, from then, right? So making sure you optimize your Google My Business Listing. We have actually done an exclusive webinar in October regarding this, where we said, what do you need to do? And if you have any questions, I request everyone to go back to that October listing or October webinar and find out what are the different strategies that you actually have to do in order for you to optimize your Google My Business. In the sense that you need to make, first of all, you need to make sure that you as the business or your marketing agency has exclusive access to Google My Business. Again, I'm reiterating the fact that you have to have control on this one. Do not give access to any third party, and because they position this as if they are actually getting you business, but which is not the case. So you need to make sure that you actually have access to this one, and you have the right information. Many a times, people, when they're searching for that, they go to Google. Obviously, they will Google it. They will land on your page or Google My Business page, or they will land on the maps, and then they will actually have all the information layer where it would actually show the incorrect hours or incorrect categorization of services or no website or incorrect phone number and all those kind of things. So just imagine if 80 people are searching for your business, and out of which if 80 of them are getting incorrect business or they're being diverted to some other business, imagine the impact that is going to have on your business, right? So it's absolutely important that you need to make sure that you have the right content in there, and obviously you need to make sure that you also define your service area and all those kind of things. And again, this is what we've been talking about, right? Having the right information on that one in terms of your business and all those things, but also you have the ability to define some keywords in your description as well. So if you look at it, like when you look at Google My Business, they would actually say 80% of your profile done, 90% done, of which business description is a major part, as in like one of the key attributes for that, making sure that you have the right description and having the right keywords. Again, if you are a Dallas downtown based pizzeria, you want to make sure that you actually create that saying that, hey, we are the best pizza place in Dallas downtown, using fresh dough and prepare wood-fired pizza in the Neapolitan style and all those kind of things. So if you look at it, you're talking about the location, you're talking about the kind of pizza you are selling. You're also saying it's made fresh daily, and it's the methodology that is used, which is like wood-fired and all those kind of things, right? Again, as I said, you need to make sure the category which is there has to be selected, and making sure that you actually have the right URLs. You can actually add menu URLs. If you actually add reservation URLs, you can actually add order ahead URLs and all those kind of things, whether it's kids friendly, whether it accepts cards, and whether it actually has different facilities, free Wi-Fi and whatnot, right? So again, the very first important fact is that you should, as a business, own GMB listing, period. There is no other option for you. Either you should basically reach out to your marketing agency, or your marketing agency should guide you with this process. If they are not, then switch to another marketing agency, right? And make sure that you are the primary owner on that particular one, again, as a small business, because getting access to the Google My Business is easy when compared with others. The reason being that like Google My Business will actually call your local your listings and all those kind of things. But again, end of the day, you need to make sure that you do not have any interruptions in terms of accessing this, and you have primary ownership on that one. Once you have this one, obviously the second facet is your website. Many clients actually ask us in terms of whether they actually need a local website. And we keep on saying that it is absolutely critical that as a small business, having a website is very, very important. Again, the fact being that it is your centerpiece, in the sense that like you want your customers or your prospective customers coming from different channels like Google My Business, social media, email campaigns, SMS campaigns, local marketing, right? Review management sites and local content sites and all those kind of things. All of them should funnel onto your website, wherein once the customer lands on your website, you can do different things, in the sense that you can basically, nowadays the technologies have evolved so much, right from plain old HTML pages right now to markup languages, HTML5s and whatnot, that you can identify whether a customer is coming back. And if the customer is coming back, then you can identify, you can basically give them a different kind of content, or promote offers, or do remarketing using Google Analytics and Facebook Pixels and whatnot. So having a website by itself is crucial, and it is nowadays, as I said, it's not just the technology, but also the development costs are very, very low. Like again, at mConnect, obviously, as part of our offerings, we do offer website development as well. But it is, again, we want to make sure that our customers have a website presence, which is crucial, because for few things, right? If you can, again, on Facebook or on Google or on any of these other pages, you have a limited capability of defining who you are using your keyword searches and all those kind of things. But as a website, if you have a website, you can do whatever you want to do. It doesn't mean that you are doing some random things, but you want to make sure that you have the right content onto there, in terms of having, like for example, if you're a restaurant, the main things that as a prospective customer is looking for, hey, is it the right cuisine? Am I looking for a breakfast place, a pizza place, an Italian place, an Indian place, right? Is it like a local restaurant, or is it a part of the chain? Does it have the right titles? And again, like again, for a restaurant, most important is menu items. What kind of menu items they actually have? Is it like, does it have the right pictures? Like, as in, like, for example, if you show a burger with like a nice juicy burger with Coke and all, and fries and all those kind of things, I would be tempted to place an order, right? Does it actually have any coupons or any specials that would basically be enticing for me to act on that particular burger picture right away? And then other aspects of things is like, hey, are you part of the local community, which is kind of like what we're talking about hyperlocal, right? In the sense that, hey, do you give back to the local schools? Do you work with local apartments, or so on and so forth, right? So as a business owner, you have the leeway of managing this content on your website, whereas on other channels, it is limited. And to us at mConnect, the way we look at it as the website is a destination. A website should be a destination for a business, whereas all these other channels, whether it is Google, whether it is Bing, whether it is TripAdvisor or Yelp or Facebook, Instagram, all these are nothing but these are fillers to your destination, or channels to your destination, in terms of making sure that you have the right content. Again, as I said, right, you need to make sure that if you are in Irving or in Dallas, make sure that you have the right keywords saying that best pizza place in Dallas, or see if local foodies can work with you, getting listings on your site, or you can basically have internal sites to other links as well, like menu pages, social media pages, and all those kind of things. And you have the right content, as like from a keywords perspective, right? Like in the sense that, like, Irving pizza places in Irving, Irving coupons, or pizza places, delivery places, and all these kind of things. Because just put yourself in the shoes of your customer and think as to what they're searching for. Again, obviously, we have tools like Keyword Planner on Google and Moz and everyone, who will actually give you, based on the geolocation as well, as to which keywords people are searching for. And again, within your Google Insights itself, you can go back and search and look at which are the keywords that are resulting in people coming to your website, right, or clicking onto your links and all those kind of things. So you can actually incorporate this. It also shows the locations in terms of which zip codes people are coming from, how many calls are being made, and all those kind of things. Again, end of the day, all these tools and information is provided by Google and by third parties. So it is imperative that as a business, you need to act on it, or you need to have someone who can actually act on it, right? You need to make sure that they are on top of these things, in the sense that if you're seeing that there are a lot many calls coming from a particular zip code, can you run a campaign only on that zip code? Or can you make sure that you're giving something special only to that zip code, and so on and so forth, right? Again, as we said, right, like you need to make sure that when people are looking for the website, they're looking for the menu, they're looking to call you. Again, we have seen around 70 to 80% of the traffic comes on mobile. You need to make sure that your website is mobile. Your ability to make a quick phone call or find directions or look for coupons and all those kind of things or place an order, all these have to be on a touch of a button, right? In the sense that like the thumb has become the most important organ in today's world, wherein people are basically constantly clicking on their phone with their thumbs and trying to figure out either to place an order or different kinds of things, right? So you need to make sure that you have the right content in terms of making sure maps, calling us, any specials, and all those kind of things. And it has to be easy. It's not that like people actually have to jump through hoops to just find this information. And apart from that, you can also embed some geolocation tools, right? Again, as I said, the website nowadays, you have these ability to find out if someone is actually coming to your website within a geolocation, within a particular radius or anything like that, and then pop up some kind of offers or something like that, because you know for a fact that if someone is in downtown and they are looking for your pizza place and you show them that like buy one get one free, they're more likely to act on that one than a person who's in Fort Worth, which is around like 20-30 miles away from your downtown Dallas, and showing them buy one get one free. He doesn't care because he's not going to drive like 20-30 miles to get that offer, right? So you can actually embed that information as well. And again, make sure, I talked about the landing page, right? If someone is searching for on Waze 7 o'clock chai tea latte and they click on that one, and if you're running some ads or something like that, make sure that they are actually going to that landing page where that customer can give you their contact information. And we just talked about this as well. And making sure that, like, again, when you're spending 30-40 cents or $1 or $2 for your ad clicks, you need to make sure that you are getting something out of those ad clicks. And if a customer is like, again, as a classic example is someone is searching for a coffee place at 7 a.m. in the morning, and they'll come to your landing page and they see that you open at 8 a.m., two things happen, right? One is you have wasted your money on that particular ad, wherein Google basically will come and say, hey, give me my dollar because I sent Seshu to your webpage. And then Seshu, when they come to your website and they see that like you open at 8 a.m., but I landed at 7 a.m., it is a turn off. I'm no longer going to come to your mycoffee.com anymore, because I know for a fact that you are trying to like kind of like pull me into your website when you know for a fact that you are not open at 7 a.m. So you need to make sure that you are actually having the right information, and you need to make sure that the landing page is accurate and is based on what you actually or based on what the customer is searching for, right? Again, as I said, right, like the landing page should actually have, if it should actually have some information about the offering or the service or product which the customer is searching for. It should actually have information about any offers or a call for action, right? And then it should actually also have some contact information, in the sense that if they want to get more information, or obviously that could be a call for action as well, but they should actually be able to say that, okay, I like this chai tea latte, I would like to basically place an order right now, and click on the order link or something like that, right? So you need to make sure that if someone is coming onto your website, again, making sure that you are capturing the content and all those kind of things, and act on that one, right? As part of the website revamping itself, the structured data markup, right? This is nothing but it's information provided where Google can provide you with this structured data markup, which can help you in local searches. right? You can actually go to this tool on go to webmasters and then slash markups dash helper, and you can actually create your own content or the structured data. Again, when we say structured data, right, just imagine this. Um, when we can speak in English, so anyone can kind of, or any other language, so that people can understand. In this structured data markup, what it means is nothing but if someone, if the website, obviously from a Google point of view, Google is crawling and they are crawling your website, and they need to know information about, okay, what kind of products are you selling, what is your contact information, what is your phone number, and all those kind of things. And that is nothing but Google will basically help you create a structure around that one, and then making sure that when Google comes to your website, it knows, okay, this is how I need to understand this website is all about this particular product, and they open at this hour, and this is the contact information, and so on and so forth, right? So this is an example of how the structured data, when you implement this one, you would actually see what kind of content, like as you can see, the phone numbers and all those kind of things, what is the URL of the website and all those things, right? So obviously we talked about Google My Business listings, making sure that you have a website, and on the website you need to make sure that you have the right content. You actually have everything in terms of the structured data markup and all those things. The fourth aspect is like local listings. So if you look at like Google, right? Google obviously is looking for, the way we look at it is the layering of the data, right? Google depends on multiple local level content providers like your Yellow Pages or any other pages, and then like Foursquare, it could be all these like Show Me Local and all these things, right? If and then it would actually help in terms of saying that, okay, this particular business is listed in so many other pages. That means I can basically say, when I say I, as in I'm talking about from Google's perspective, Google say with certainty that this business exists, and they are in the business of providing pizzas, and they are open from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and they do delivery and all those kind of things, right? So just imagine this one, like, again, obviously a random example. If you're working with local governments, and if you have like a city.gov or something like that, and if your listing is listed there, given the fact that .gov listings has a higher confidence levels, in terms of like, you cannot go and list yourself on .gov by yourselves. Obviously there has to be some kind of scrutiny being done and all those kind of things. So that means Google will say that, okay, I'm going to show the pizza place at the top because .gov listing is there, right? And then a follow on would basically be in terms of it could be like a .edu, .org, or something like that. So in terms of local listings, it's not just that. You can also work with, again, those are the strategies which we're going to talk about in terms of working with local organizations, nonprofits, and asking them to list your website so that it kind of helps you in the listings and all those things, right? Apart from that, you also want to make sure that, if possible, if you can list any on other sites like your coupons, Groupons, and all those kind of things, that would actually help you, right? Obviously, some of them are right. And then the other aspect is like creating some local content. When we say a local content, right, it means that you are creating some content which the locals can, again, we talked about the Brooklyn content, or with Adidas, with Oyster, like creating some kind of a design around Oyster cards and all those kind of things. So you need to make sure that when you are creating some content, you need to make sure that there is some on your website itself some local content, in the sense that, like, for example, if you look at it, right, um, Dunkin' Donuts actually has different kinds of flavors depending upon the country they are operating. Obviously, Starbucks, but even as a small business, if you are with like in again, let's take downtown Dallas, or for example, I was just reading an article yesterday about a pickle. It's some kind of a fair in March or April in Fort Worth. So they are actually having some kind of a contest, not contest, it's just like a fair around pickles, where a lot of other local businesses would be taking part in this one. So if possible, maybe you can create a landing page saying that, hey, if you go to that particular fair and visit that pickles fair, by the way, we are a sandwich place, and come to our sandwich place, and we will give you a bottle of pickles free, or pickles will be free on your sandwich, or something like that, right? So you can kind of like, obviously, um, adding some content, because in there is a local fair which is going on in March, April, and you want to cater to those crowd who are coming to that fair, and so on and so forth, right? Again, if you can actually have this is like engaging with the local community. We have seen time and again, for all our clients, this is one of our important strategies, is to basically work with local schools, local churches, and all these things, to kind of local charities, to make sure that we are giving back to the community. Especially in US, it is a big thing, because when people talk about giving back to the community, like, for example, we actually, for most of our clients, we work with them to sponsor Teacher of the Month awards or student recognition awards, and so on and so forth, because we want to make sure that it's not just because from a marketing strategy perspective, but also making sure that as a business you are giving back to the community, because your customers feel a loyalty, in the sense that, like, okay, if I'm spending $1 here, my dollar actually stays within the community. Maybe 85 cents is taken by the business, whereas 15 cents is going to the school, and I feel good about that one, right? Again, this is like some of the examples that we can actually we have found, but even in our own case itself, we have worked with local churches and all these things, because we would like to basically give back. Again, this is another example in Austin. You eat this pizza within an hour, and you will get like a $200 gift card, right? I'm not sure if someone can eat. That's a 12-pound, 28-inch pizza. Wow, it's amazing, right? Um, um, Again, some of the things, like where Papa John's basically works with local in Houston, working with Texans. Obviously, it's a football season, and they want to give back to the community, and so on and so forth, right? Um, Another aspect is basically looking at the geotags, right? Like, if you look at any of the content that's been published, for example, it could be on Instagram. When you're posting some content, people might be looking for hashtags. Like, for example, if you're in Dallas, people might be searching for Dallas related, or people might be searching for an address, or it could be other things, right? So all these social media platforms, they do actually have the capability to geotag your posts. This would actually not only help in terms of people searching, but also from Google as well. When they see that they are, like, this particular business is posting content with this address tagging, it would basically help you in your search results, right? So we actually have all these. Again, as I said, like, it could be based on the content, it could be based on the city, or it could be based on the address. Whatever postings you are doing, as a matter of fact, any picture nowadays you take with your smartphone, it actually has geotags, unless and until you can actually turn it off. which is kind of scary and important at the same time, in the sense that if I can look at the picture and say, okay, this particular picture was taken on at so and so location, and that information. So right, so if you look at it, right, like Facebook, when you can actually tag here, Instagram, obviously you can add your this one's Snapchat and Twitter and so on and so forth. All these basically can geotag any of your content, right? Um, we talked about like all these strategies, right? Like if someone is searching for your content, you need to make sure that you are like showing them the results. Like, so there are a couple of things: organic results, in the sense that if someone is searching for pizza, so you can actually show them excuse me, you can actually show, when I say you can show them, it obviously depends upon all these strategies. Like you need to make sure that you have the right content on your website, you have the structured data markup language, you have the right linkings and all those things, right? Content, and people are coming to the site. It is like nothing but search engine optimization kind of a thing. But the other kind of ways in which you can actually reach out to your users is through ads, in the sense that if someone is searching for, again, let's take Google as an example. If someone is searching for pizza places near me, you can pop up an ad there. You can actually pop up an ad with the based on the keywords and call to action, and that's where we talked about the landing page and all those kind of things, right? Similarly, on Facebook also, you can actually create an ad targeting your demographics within a particular limitations, or you can actually limit based on the zip codes and so on and so forth. Again, all these platforms, you have the capability as a business, or as a social media marketing agency, or as a marketing agency, to target your customers. And the way you can target these customers is based on a combination of factors, in the sense that I want to target people in the 25 to 45 years, who are males, who have so much of income, and who those kind of things, right? In the sense that end of the day, you know which platform these your target customers use. Like if you are targeting young people, then maybe going with Snapchat or Instagram would be a good option. Where if you're looking for more mature or more women, then Facebook would be a good option. If you're looking for more eclectic, like journalists or bloggers or something like that, Twitter would be this one. LinkedIn could be a good channel for you to reach out to the business community, and so on and so forth, right? Um, Again, you can also have like the geofencing, in the sense that everyone, you can target your radius and saying that, okay, this is what I want to my ad to show. Or you can, like, for example, on Snapchat also, you can create filters, and then which can kind of add on to those geofencing for you to kind of target those people within that this one. So in a nutshell, what we are trying to say is, like, if you look at, like, again, from a from a hyperlocal marketing strategies point of view, right? We want to make sure that as a business, you need to do two things. One is like identify who your customers are, how you can actually reach out to them, what kind of again, the paths they are taking. When I say the path, in the sense that are they searching on Facebook, or are they searching on Google? Are they on Snapchat, right? Are they watching YouTube videos, and so on and so forth? And trying to attract, making sure that in your search strategies, in your ad strategies, in your content strategies, you use these keywords. Because end of the day, if you say pizza, right, you have chains like Pizza Hut, to Marco's Pizza, to your mom and pop stores, to your local chains, like Polios. Everyone is actually searching, or like vying for that particular customers eyeballs. So that means you need to make sure that you have like very few chances of making sure the customer sees you, sees the content that you are providing, making sure that you are actually putting your best foot forward in terms of the content wise, and you need to have a follow-up action in the sense that a CTA for each and every click or any customer action. So in the sense that like if a customer clicks on the ad, just imagine that you have only one chance for you to capture that customer's information. That means you need to have like to show a nice picture, you need to basically show them the content they're looking for, show them a value add in terms of like what will they get if they click on this one or give some kind of information. And then you also have to make sure that you have to be very specific in terms of saying that, hey, I'm going to actually follow up with you in a little while later, right? One important facet, obviously, starting 2020 is the California Data Protection Act. It has come up. Obviously, it's only for companies which have a certain revenue numbers and all those kind of things. But bear in mind, you need to basically adhere to, obviously with European standards, it's GDPR, whereas in California, if you're doing business in California, it would be the California Data Protection Act that you need to adhere to, so that you're very clear whenever you're targeting customers, you are giving them an option to opt in, because you do not want customers to basically get annoyed at you just because they have come to your website or something like that, that you are basically trading in their information and so on and so forth. So you need to make sure that you are you take the customer's permission in order for you to kind of in order for you to make sure that like they are aware that they can expect some kind of marketing messages from you as a business, and they are okay with that one. Even if they're okay at one instance, always give them an option to opt out, and the opt out has to be very easy. I have seen many instances where they ask you to opt out and they make you through like through many hoops, and end of the day, this customer is not interested in your product or service. So what's the point of having him or her in your Rolodex if they are not gonna, if they see that your product is not worth their time and you are making it even more difficult to opt out, which will kind of annoy them and cause negative feedback or negative this one with or negative word of mouth by this customer to others, kind of thing. So this would actually wrap up our webinar for this month. If you have any questions, feel free to reach us out, and this is our email, marketing@mconnect.com. You can also call us at 619-CONNECT. We also have like the capability, as we said, obviously we have this platform, mConnect platform, of which the 4Q platform is the one. If you want more information on this one, feel free to reach out to us and we can actually have a demo, and you can also try out this platform and see what value add we actually bring to the table. If you are a social media marketing company or a marketing agency, again, we are looking for some beta customers to test our platform. It's an end-to-end customer engagement platform. We talked about like we have developed apps and platforms which are connected and which can monitor the progression of the customer from all the way from awareness to advocacy, give you an insights in terms of where the customer is at this point of time and how he has progressed from each of the stages, and what is the value of a customer to you as a business. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach us out. Multiple options, marketing@mconnect.com or 619-CONNECT. You can also reach us at Twitter handle @mconnect. So next month, we're going to actually talk about mobile marketing. Again, mobile marketing strategies for small businesses. Again, our emphasis is always on restaurants. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach us out. And once again, Happy New Year, guys. And we look forward to seeing you. And this webinar will be on our website at mconnect.com. Feel free to share it with your friends or anyone else who you feel that would would basically benefit when they actually see this, or if you feel like you can forward our email as well, and we'll be more than happy to sit with you and talk with you as to what we bring to the table. Thanks once again, and we look forward to seeing you or hearing back from you in next month.